Especially with music videos, I find something always goes wrong. Like, what is like a disaster sort of set music video story that you have?
So, you know how I have this gimbal, right?
Yeah.
There was one time I didn't secure the camera correctly on the gimbal,
Oh no.
and it fell.
Oh. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Ian Show. It's been a minute since I've done this, but I figure it's about time that, I bring back the show. And today I have my lovely friend Pedro. How are you doing today, Pedro?
What's up, you guys? I am doing very well. Very tired, but doing very well, though. This panorama really sucks.
Yeah, no, it's like, I find especially with the pandemic, like my sleep schedule's like all over the place.
I still haven't fixed my sleep schedule. Kind of did it. My sleep schedule from college is still with me, so I'm just like, okay.
So like, tell me more about yourself. Like, what do you do?
So my name is Pedro Salgado. I do video and photo here in California, in a small town of Los Banos. I used to do it a lot in San Francisco. And actually, San Francisco is where I started doing a little bit more of the photo and video thing. I still have a lot to learn, as I've only been doing this for 2.5, 3 years almost. I started in 2017, late 2017.
That's around the same time. That's like 4 years, man. I started early 20, at least for myself, I started as a professional in like early 2017. So we're roughly around, it's about 4 years.
Okay. Dang.
I know, we're getting old, right?
I know, right? Well, I'm turning 26. I don't know how, you're turning what, 23?
24.
Okay.
I know, it's crazy. It's like, it feels like a lifetime ago, and it feels like yesterday that like we were in high school, just starting out college, Like, do you feel the same way, or?
No, I stopped feeling like that a couple years ago.
Okay, so it does fade away.
Yeah, it faded away for me. I was like, I know I'm not in that age group anymore. Just
You've accepted your senior citizen status.
basically, I've already accepted adulthood at this point.
Yeah, I'm getting more used to accepting adulthood, because like before it's like man, like why would I buy like a bed frame, or why would I buy this? And it's like now like I walk into like IKEA and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, I could get this. It's like,
Oh, I would love to make my own house. Don't worry, like not make my own house, but like at least get the furniture that I want, that fits what I like. IKEA is perfect.
yeah. Well, I will say, like, if once you have your own house, like the lighting's gonna be insane, which is something I was gonna like tie into. Like, I've really noticed, like with your lighting, it's really nice. You have all sort of like vibrant colors, and like you do a really good job mixing them. Where do you learn all this about like lighting?
Funny enough, I started learning more about lighting and all that through Peter McKinnon's videos.
Oh, nice. He's cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've talked to you about him like a lot. I told you I draw inspiration from him a little bit, but I also take it from like other people, and I learned a lot during like going to school.
So yeah, tell me. So where do you go to school?
So I went to school at the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Fine Arts and Sound Design. It's somewhere over here. Don't know where, but it's somewhere over there. And yeah, that's what I did. I did that. I went to school for 5 years, originally going to the Art Institute and switching over to AAU. And yeah, I just graduated from there last year in May.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks, man.
How long was
a long journey.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how long was the program?
It was supposed to be 3 years originally when I first joined, when I started AI, or the Art Institute, and they were telling me some things, and I switched over to AAU, and then it was supposed to take 4 years after getting to AAU, after already being in AI for 2 years, but I was going to graduate with my associates originally, and then I got a call saying like, oh hey, like you're graduating next semester, you just got to stick it out. And I did stick it out, but I stuck it out when like quarantine was happening and the lockdown and everything. I think you remember me kind of like stressing out little by little. But
Oh yeah, you were. I mean, I think we were both really stressed at that time. Like, to start a quarantine, like I was not in a good place, man. Like, I was really stressed and overwhelmed. And
a bunch of us were, because none of us knew what was gonna happen with us, because our industry was like impacted the hardest too. Yeah, it's horrible. We have so much stuff happening.
Yeah, true, true. We do have a lot happening, and it's like this is one of the craziest times I've ever been in. So for your program, like this is one thing that I talk about a lot too. Like with people, you know, it's a big debate in like the creative community, like because you got like professionally trained, like I mean, yeah, you learn a lot on your own too, but like you went to school for this, right?
Not video and photo. I went to school for audio. That's it. Video and photo, I kind of just like I picked up and I started just getting more into it and more into it. And for the think like last year is when I kind of realized I was like maybe I want to do more camera work than audio work.
So how do you get started doing that?
Friends, reaching out to friends, asking them to, hey, model for me, or hey, I want to do this and come do this with me just for fun. And that's kind of just how you do it. Yeah. Or just surprising your friend with the things you get and be like, hey, let's go try something out, like I did with the gimbal.
Yeah, yeah, you're getting your first gimbal. That's always fun. Yeah, it's a good way to start. Like, so what camera did you first start off with?
Canon T5.
Nice. T6 myself.
Yeah, the Canon T5, and then I got the Sigma 16-35. That was a killer lens. I love that lens. After that, what else? Let's see. Canon T5. Canon 60D. I downgraded, actually.
I never heard someone like, I felt like I was the only one doing that because like, there's times when I could upgrade or whatever, but I'm like, no, like I don't feel like I'm there yet. Like I want to work on the fundamentals first. And like, I've never met someone that did that. So like good for you. Cause you're probably the first person I met that actually is like, okay, let's downgrade and, challenge myself and learn the fundamentals more first.
Yeah, like I downgraded and immediately was like, oh, this is a lot harder. And so I taught myself a little bit more of like what to do. And plus when I also downgraded, I also knew that the 60D was able to help out just a tiny bit more when I was in concerts, because you've seen all the pictures I've taken. Like I love being around music and I love being around concerts. So like photography and music, oh, of course I'm going to take like the chance and like go after it. Like I do miss it right now, but can't wait for it to come back.
And is that like a big reason why you focus a lot on the like the concert photography and the music videos, just because like you love music?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same here. Like I don't really do concert photography, but music videos, that's a big reason I got into it, because trust me, like if I have the talent to be a musician, I 100% would. Like I would 100% do that, but I found out in like grade 6 like music class, like I have no musical talent whatsoever. Like I could barely play like 3 notes on the trumpet. And like, yeah, but like that's the reason why. But the thing is, like I still love music, so that's why I like doing music videos and stuff, because like, well, I'm talented at this thing, I can't do this thing, but if we can help these people because we like their stuff, and like like we can vibe to their stuff and like sort of create a vision around the music.
Yeah, we definitely do that. I also I think you've seen me play guitar a little bit.
Yeah, well, you're good. Like you actually have some talent.
It's funny because I've sat in my room for like hours on end, like over summers, playing my guitar when I was in school. So whenever like time I had vacation, just lock myself in my room and just play guitar. I haven't played it in a minute, but it's fun when you play it every once in a while.
Yeah, I know. It's always nice to have that one thing that I can kind of just like get away from and like just kind of do and just like kind of block the world out, and I feel like that's guitar for a lot of people, like, or like music for a lot of people. Like I have a lot of friends that do the same thing. They just kind of like, go in a room, play guitar for a few hours, and like they just feel so much better afterwards.
Right? It's great. It's like, it's the best way to de-stress. It's one of the best ways to de-stress. Photos is also another good way to de-stress. Like, I used to take my camera out a lot here and just go to the park and see if I can get like a bird or two. That's hard. Can never do it.
Well, especially on a 16-35, like the only way you get birds like really close is like telephoto.
That's true, but I've also tried it with my Sony on the 85mm. It does not work out well either. You gotta be so still. Yeah,
and I have some like fucking fearless like 300 style birds, like.
Right?
Like, no, I feel like the only way you could get that is like Canadian geese or something, because like those fuckers will attack you. Like they're not scared and they will attack you if they want. Like, come up to Ottawa if you wanna, and that's some nice bird photography.
Man, I don't even want to be around geese. I don't want to be. I don't want that. I'm good. I rather.
Okay, then yeah, like don't. I mean, you can visit here.
I'll visit still.
Yeah.
But I'm not fucking with the geese.
Oh man, but yeah, no, I'm down to visit California because like I've actually never been to California.
It's okay. I'll let you know that. It's okay. Just I think it's good to go to the most like beautiful nature places.
Yeah. And I feel like especially, well, what I normally do like pre-pandemic is like the winters here are brutal, man. Like they're like minus 30 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I know it's in the negatives. Like it's really freaking cold. What we'd usually do is like for like 2 weeks or so, we'd go down to like Panama or like the Dominican for like a week or two, just to, you know, have a little bit of like sunshine in the cold, miserable weather. So it's like now with the COVID, and like we can't do that. So
yeah, that brings down a lot of heat.
Yeah. It's like California seems nice weather-wise. So speaking of California stuff, like how did you end up in California? It was like because like your family moved there? Have you always lived there? Like,
so I ended up in California because my family immigrated here from Mexico. My parents did, both of them, and we lived here in California a majority of my life. Actually, almost all my life, really. I lived in Nevada for I don't know how long. And then I was just a toddler, though, when that happened, but moved back here, and we've been in California ever since. Yeah. I've traveled, and that's about it.
Nice. Well, that's nice because, like, you know, it's like you've always been the kind of same area. Like, you didn't have to be the new kid very often, then, I assume?
It never really mattered to me if, like, I'm the new kid or the new person anywhere, because if I interact with people. Like, I'm social. I'm just not wanting to socialize too much all the time.
No, I feel that. Like, I kind of like, especially back then, I just wanted like my own little social bubble, and like that's it. Like, I was a very shy kid. Yeah, just kind of stuck to myself.
Yeah, I'll stick to like the metal community mostly, but like even then, I'm just like, don't really want to mess with you guys sometimes.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Like for me, that was kind of like I was a little bit of like the like sports community, but there's also a little bit of like the nerd side too. It's like I kind of just shifted depending on like where it was. If you could start all again, like all over in 2017, like I know there's a ton of stuff I would have changed, but if you could start off in like 2017 all over again, like what would you change and why?
Honestly, I would have loved to have started taking more videos at that time, but you know, I had the T5. Even with the T5, you can still get pretty good stuff.
Oh God, yeah. Like I shot my music video "Hold Up" and "Heartbroken." Also that one "Free Falling" with Finn MK. I'm just self-promoting right now, like a shameless motherfucker that I am. All three of those were shot on the T6. So why do you say you want to do more videos? Just because it's like so you have like more experience now, or like you finally feel like it's more your thing to do now, or?
It's more of a thing. It's more of experience now, and it's more of like a thing to do, like you said right now. But it's those two feelings. It's those two reasons. Like I know more. Like I would have known more now, and the experience would have helped out a lot more by now. Plus, I would have just loved doing it from the get-go.
Yeah, for sure. I do. Yeah, I totally get that. Like for me, it's kind of like opposite. I wish I would have focused on like photography a little bit more, and not tried to like because the thing with me is like I try to do everything at once. I tried to have a YouTube channel. I had to do photography, videography. Like I was trying to wear too many hats. I'm like now I'm just like okay, you focus on this thing. This is your main thing. A little bit of this thing, a little bit of that thing, and not so like you know 2 or 3 things instead of like 8. You know. So also like for sort of like music videos and stuff like. I was talking to one of my friends about this, and like me and her were just dying laughing, just like talking about this. Like, especially with music videos, I find something always goes wrong. Like, what is like a disaster sort of on set music video story that you have?
So, you know how I have this gimbal, right?
Yeah.
There was one time I didn't secure the camera correctly on the gimbal.
Oh no.
And it fell.
Oh.
Luckily, the only thing that broke was the wire that was connecting the gimbal to the camera.
That's it though?
That is it. That's the only thing. That's the only accident that's happened that was really bad. Like I haven't broken anything else after that. Like I've been super careful.
No run-ins with the cops or anything? Like,
Nah, I know runs with the cops. Almost all the places I've been at where like I've shot at is private property. I haven't really taken my tripod anywhere outside that's not private property. So like I don't ever set up my tripod up on like the road because I don't want to get like
hit and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, I'm good. Like I'm good. Like I'd rather not.
But let me tell you, man, like compared to me, that is like squeaky clean. Like that is the most like I've had so much go wrong in my music videos, man. Like I've had clients show up 4 hours late. I've had the cops show up on both days of filming. I've had I've had multiple times where like models bailed and we had to bring in someone last minute, or like there'd be like one model and like 10 guys. Dude, I've had everything. So that is like, you are very lucky. And how many music videos have you done?
One, I have no clue actually, to be honest. I'm in the middle of one right now. I think maybe like 6 or 7. I really wouldn't know because I've done music videos and I've done guitar and bass playthrough videos and drum playthrough videos. You've actually seen those too. I've done them with the dudes at Red Keep. Bless you guys. They're all cool. The drummer Travis and I have known each other for a pretty long time, since I was in high school.
It's awesome when you have like creative friends like that. You can just like, go too often,
Yeah. Finn, the first dude I ever did a music video with, and I've done all his music videos for. He was into like ska and punk and all that. A little bit of metal, a little bit of hardcore. And that's how we knew each other. Just through the hardcore scene, but like I also knew him through another person.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I was hitting him up for like music videos. I was like, hey, let me do your music video, man. I kind of want to practice.
Yeah. That's how you get started right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember with Finn, it was like, he was like, well, honestly, you're the only one that's not charging me, and I just graduated and I'm pretty broke. So like, let's shoot. I'm like, okay, let's go.
That's how it is. That's how it is.
Yeah. One thing I see a lot with like new creatives and stuff, like photographer, videographer, any sort of freelancer industry in general even, is they struggle with like pricing and stuff, and they struggle to like, charge more. Like, do you have any insight on like how you can like charge more?
I feel like you should start charging more when you start having the experience to charge more. So you don't have a lot, so a bunch of your client budget doesn't go to like props and stuff like that. Like you can go to lighting a little bit of prop, a little bit of food, but make sure it goes into like your taxes and stuff. Go to the taxes first because you don't know how it's going to be. Put aside for taxes, put aside to pay yourself, and then put aside to like pay for what is needed for the shoot. It might not be a lot sometimes, but whatever it is, it's whatever it is. Also, don't overwork yourself, but don't also sell yourself short. Like maybe a minimum music video where you can have homies come through, help out, and like make it a fun time. $500 to $600. Like that's a good beginning start when like you're getting the hang of it more.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I wish I would have charged it. Because, like, when I was first, I did, like, my first 2 for, like, free just because to get some experience. But after that, there was a while where I only charged, like, 200-300. And I'm like, oh, my friends like, you could charge way more. Like, I have buddies charging, like, 1,100-1,200. And they're, like, they're not that much better than you. I'm like, oh, shit. Like,
I have friends here who tell me that, like, you undercharge a little too much. And I'm just like, yeah, but look at where, like, I'm at.
Yeah, but you kind of want to do the shoot at the same time, It's like, yeah, it's like if
I want to get out. I want to get out of the house and just do something.
Like I've done like one of my last one, Neurosis, like the client was a friend of mine. He's like, hey, like I like what give my price, and he's like, hey, like I don't like I'm kind of like struggling. I don't have this, but like I got the song. Like I really want you to do it, and I'm like, we all like the whole crew, like we docked our wages a little bit just to shoot the video. So it turned out great. Yeah, we all were like, like we like the song, like we like the person, like we're down to take a little bit of a pay cut, to actually shoot this thing. So.
Oh yeah, most of the music videos I've done like have all been myself though, with like minimum help.
And do you find that's because I've done both. I've done with a crew and without, and I find like I much prefer the crew, man, because like doing it just by yourself, it's nice for like kind of like running gun stuff, like where you shouldn't really supposed to be there, but the thing is though, it's like you're managing everything, and I just lose track of things so much. It's like, Yeah,
dude. My first thing is to like set up a tripod really quickly, set up my camera with like a really crappy battery, and then just like do the lighting and just keep checking the camera and like going back and forth. That's what I did. That's what I do most of the time. It helps out, but it does get pretty like daunting that like it's just you. You're doing it all yourself. You're gonna get tired faster.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you get exhausted when you're. Yeah, I did one of those like I did a whole weekend like both 12-hour days of that like just solo like run and gun shooting. I was dead ass tired the next day.
You're so tired. You're just like, damn, messing myself up.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize how hard we work as freelancers. Like there's many like 12, 14-hour days, you know.
Oh yeah, it sucks, but we're pushing through. We want to get our name out.
Yeah, and it's like, well, this stuff is like, I feel like I can just do it. There's pros and cons of everything. Like, so like some things, especially like with the planning stage or editing, sometimes I'll feel like, oh, this is a drag. But like when I'm shooting and stuff, or like when it's like even like the whole job in general, like it just flies by.
Yeah, it does.
It goes by really quick because like versus like, me pushing down a cart in like Rito Center or like me like working in like a bike repair shop that is like no AC or whatever, like time just goes by so slow, man. It's a big reason why like I try to work as hard as I do. I'm like, I don't see myself, I don't want to do a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life,
Yeah, no, not a lot of people do. It's about that time. Oh, before anything else, if you're gonna do shoots, like maybe also charge by the hour for video editing, but that depends on like how good you are. Don't sell yourself short on that either.
Do you mostly do hourly or do you mostly do like day rate?
I'll do a day rate. I think hourly would be great only because of the fact that sometimes a video won't take more than like 2 hours, 3 hours, but like you do a lot to it.
True, yeah. And you gotta log those hours too. Like I remember Finn was telling me like he keeps very careful track of like how long he's working. He charges hourly because like clients will often be like, why are we paying you this much? And it's like, were you really working this whole time? And he's like, yeah, I have it logged right here. Like,
Yeah, you have to keep that log.
no, that's a good tip. So yeah, like thanks for your time, Pedro. Where can people find you?
They can find me at Pedro Salgado _photography on Instagram, or if they want to see me live on Twitch, it's LapisWolf95.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time. Thanks for being part of the new rebuild of the Ian show.
Yeah,
and
of course, man.
We'll keep in touch, man. Great talking to you.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you. You too.
Well, that wraps up the interview. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe for more. And yeah, follow me on Instagram at Ian R. Anderson. And if you want to be on the Ian Show, feel free to reach out. And for more episodes, stay tuned. Hope you're having a great day. Peace.